Digital sovereignty. Who really owns your data? Imagine this. You wake up in the morning, check your WhatsApp messages, Google something trivial, scroll endlessly on Instagram, and maybe send an email through Gmail. Now pause for a second. Where do you think all that data is going? Hint: not in your local neighborhood server next to the chai stall. This, my friends, is where the idea of digital sovereignty crashes into the story like a dramatic Bollywood entry scene.
Why are we talking about this? Because in today's world, data is the new oil. Except, instead of fueling your car, it fuels algorithms, AI tools, and even political campaigns. And unlike petrol pumps, the owners of this oil are mostly sitting outside your country's borders.
Countries like India rely heavily on American platforms, Google, Meta, Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp for almost every digital move. And if tomorrow these companies decide to flip a switch, well, millions of users would suddenly feel like they've been thrown back to the 1990s era of missed calls and dial-up tones. What exactly is digital sovereignty? Think of it as self-respect for nations in the digital era. It means, can a country manage its own digital infrastructure, protect its data, and operate critical services without depending on another nation's tech giants? It's not just about banning foreign apps. It's about whether your health records, bank transactions, and government communications are being protected within your borders or being handled by a Silicon Valley firm that probably has never tasted Pani Puri. The national security angle. Here's where things get spicy. Let's look at a few real-world examples. Ukraine and Starlink. During the Russia-Ukraine conflict, Ukraine's military relied heavily on Elon Musk's Starlink internet system. Sounds great, right? Except it also meant a single billionaire in another country could decide when soldiers have internet access. That's like outsourcing your army's walkie-talkies to a startup owner in California. Risky business. India and WhatsApp rumors. Remember those viral fake forwards that spread faster than discount sale news? Platforms like WhatsApp, owned by Meta, became weapons during conflicts and elections. The tricky part? These companies play by their own rules, not necessarily what the local government wants. Taiwan and chips. Fun fact, more than 90% of the world's advanced semiconductor chips are manufactured in Taiwan. That means if Taiwan sneezes, the entire world, including Apple, Samsung, and your local smartphone shop, catches a cold.
Why is it so hard to achieve? This is the uncomfortable truth. Building digital independence isn't like opening a local kirana store. It's more like trying to build your own Amazon, Microsoft, and Nvidia at the same time.
Hardware? The US and Taiwan dominate. Software? Mostly US-driven. AI chips? Again, Taiwan, South Korea, and the US. Cloud computing? AWS, Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure. See the problem? Even countries like India, which boast an IT workforce bigger than some nations' population, import nearly 95% of semiconductors. Social media, friend or frenemy. Social media platforms are not just fun time pass apps. They've become battlefields during conflicts. During India-Pakistan tensions, Twitter and Facebook turned into arenas of hashtags, fake news, and digital shouting matches. During US elections, Facebook and the Cambridge Analytica drama showed how personal data can influence democracy itself. The challenge? These platforms are owned abroad and governed by terms of service that no one actually reads. Countries trying to take control. Some nations are already experimenting with digital sovereignty. China built its own great firewall and promotes homegrown apps like WeChat, Baidu, and Alibaba. The result? They control their ecosystem. Europe introduced the GDPR, which forces companies to respect data privacy or face fines that could buy you a small island. India launched the Digital India Initiative, UPI payments, and now the Digital Personal Data Protection Act to bring more control back home.
But here's the catch. Complete digital sovereignty is like chasing a unicorn. It's beautiful in theory, but almost impossible in practice.
This satirical side. Imagine if countries had to depend on foreign powers for everyday, non-digital stuff too. Your electricity only works if someone in another country approves. Your local train stopped because a Silicon Valley intern went on coffee break. Your Aadhaar card OTP is being verified in another time zone. Ridiculous, right? Yet that's exactly the digital dependence most nations live with. the road ahead. So what's the solution? A mix of local infrastructures, invest in domestic data centers and chip manufacturing, policy power, strong data protection laws with real bite, global cooperation, because no country can truly go solo in tech, digital literacy, teach people how not to believe every WhatsApp forward that says, forward to 10 people or your Wi-Fi will die. Final thoughts. Digital sovereignty isn't just a tech buzzword. It's about freedom, security, and trust in a world that runs on data. The question is, will countries rise to the challenge and build their own systems, or will they remain dependent on the digital landlords of Silicon Valley and Shenzhen?
Until then, remember, every time you send a meme, Google something embarrassing, or shop online, you're participating in the great global tug of war over data.